You're listening to Popstar Conversations, taking you inside with your favorite musical artists.
Lenny, first of all, is this the legendary funk record that you've been working on since 1997?
No, this is Black and White America, and I ended up going into the studio thinking that I was going to be finishing something else, because that truly was my intention. But I had just built this studio in the Bahamas, incredible dream studio in the most beautiful location, isolated, very few people, small town. And all of a sudden, I was finishing that thing. But then at the same time, I started hearing all this new music. And so I said, okay, well, let me go, I'm supposed to be finishing this, but let me go and record one of these things I'm hearing in my head, in which I did. And then I thought, this isn't that. And then I heard another one, and another one. Next thing, I got 3 songs, and I'm headed in a different direction. So now I have to say, do I listen to the creative being what it is and go with that, or do I do what I'm supposed to be doing? So I opted to not do what I was supposed to be doing and go where my heart was at that moment. And this is the album, Black and White America, that came out fresh and wonderful and really very satisfying to me.
So the funk record is still to come.
Oh yeah.
It seems like this is turning into some sort of mystical album.
Yeah, I'm turning into like the Chinese democracy, or even worse, right?
Are you planning on doing a double album?
Well, it you know, I still think in terms of vinyl. Every time I made a CD, I think of side 1, side 2, you know, how much space between the songs, the whole thing. And so the one thing that I did know, that was when I started making this album, Black and White America, I kept saying, I feel like I want to make a double record. I want to, you know, the double records that I love, Electric Ladyland, you know, Prince, Sign of the Times, Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life, you know, All Things Must Pass, George Harrison, you know, all these great double records, you know. White Album, that's not a bad one. And I was like, you know, it's time for a double record. I need the space in which to paint this picture. So it's 16 tracks, which obviously would be 4 tracks per side, 2 pieces of vinyl, and we're making a beautiful gatefold vinyl version that we're going to let out. That's really important to me, even though there's 3 people that have record players. And actually, that's not true. A lot of kids are having record players now and digging the whole vinyl thing. And, you know, it fits nicely on one CD.
How does this fit into your body of work? I mean, it seems to be a show of strength representing your full creative spectrum.
I like that. No, that works. Say it again. What was that?
It reflects your whole body of work. It shows your strength.
I like that. You hear what the man said? But that's what it is.
I definitely heard the electronic elements in there. Also, I heard a hint of Romeo Blue.
You know, he has to get out sometime. He never got a record deal, so.
And the same goes for the lyrics. There's some pretty aggressive stuff in there in the song Come On Get It, which is obviously about sex.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the track Super Love. Is that about you being on the quest for the ultimate love?
Yes. Mentally, spiritually, sexually.
You know, it almost feels like you're totally wrecked in that song, I Can't Be Without You. It seems like it's an emotional roller coaster. Is Lenny one of us?
Always.
And you have a weak side too.
Of course. I enjoy the ride, the ups and the downs. You can learn from the so-called downs, then, you know, great. Your
song Stand, would you say that was a call to arms?
Yeah.
Is that why you picked it as your first single?
No, I mean, it was actually, it works in the sense of, you know, it's an uplifting song about no matter what life throws you, you get right back up and you keep moving and you don't give up hope and you persevere and so forth. It was, the truth of the matter is it was written personally to a friend who became paralyzed from the waist down. And I wasn't in the country, and I felt like, what can I do? I just want to give this person a feeling, what little I can do. So I wrote the song for this person, and the person now is running again. Learn to walk again, learn to run again, back on their feet. So it's interesting, it works in this sort of worldly way, but it's really about a person.
And you're working with Jay-Z again. It's the first time since Baptism. Are you guys good friends?
You know, I wasn't. Yeah, and he's a great artist and a very interesting human being. And it wasn't that I was trying to make a repeat, but when I was doing Bungie Drop, I kept hearing his voice, and so I called him, and he hooked it up. And then you also have the local DJ from my area in the Bahamas, DJ Military on the track. I like that track a lot. Quite different.
The track really has a strong reggae vibe to it. It also has the electronica thing happening, and it has strong elements of a Gorillaz track. It really stands out.
So it's about how these women dance. It's about the whole vibe of the culture of these women, the dancing, and the whole Bahamian thing. Just so you know. You
went to record your record at the Gregory Town Sounds in the Bahamas. Tell us a little about how it went there.
It's a beautiful studio. It's a beautiful concrete structure, very modern, in the middle of the jungle, and then inside is beautiful wood. It looks almost like something you'd expect, like a studio you'd find like in the mid to late 70s that was just preserved, like classic, wood strips and beautiful wood floors and cork, and it's great. It's great, and just the most amazing equipment for my taste.
You love those old remote places, don't you?
I do.
What was it like to work with Michael Jackson?
He's so humble. We were put together by a mutual friend, and we met and instantly just loved each other and got to work. The thing I can tell you about him that was the most fun for me was that he's one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. We laughed for days and days and days, just laughed and had fun. And you would think that perhaps somebody in his position who's been making records since 1960, whatever, he'd be over it. And he's still like a kid in the studio. Still wants to nail it, still wants to please, still wants to have it be as excellent as it can be. It was a fantasy. It was just an absolute amazing experience to work with him, and I was very happy that I was given that opportunity.
And the songs that you guys worked on, were they for Invincible?
No, it was for Invincible, and then they decided that it was too rock for Invincible, so they were holding it, and then tragically, we know the rest.
Thank you again for listening to Popstar Conversations. Be sure to click the subscribe button below and hit the red bell so that you'll be notified of our next exclusive interview.
Thank you for listening to Popstar Conversations. Please join us again for another conversation with your favorite musical artist.